Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Real Estate Makes Us Drink. Brian Quinlan here from Daniels Real Estate.
Hey, Brad Nickham from Nest Mortgage Group.
If this is your first time here, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down at the bottom. At some point in the episode, feel free to drop us a comment because we do respond to comments and we like to see that someone's out there watching other than Fred.
And we like a like too.
Absolutely.
And then the best thing is if this thing, just spreads like herpes, let your friends know about it.
Definitely should tell your friends. Interesting comparison.
We'll change our name to Itchy and Scratchy.
Well, cheers, my friend. That's a little glass you got.
Well, it's a little glass of beer.
That ain't beer. That is tequila.
It is
something you've had on the show before. Not that particular bottle, but
not this bottle because it came yesterday.
Oh, Nelly.
Batch number 1, like bottle 5,000 of the new Yayo High Proof.
Cool.
Tequila. Sergio Cruz, of course, the master distiller.
Hola, Sergio.
Hola, Sergio. Salud. And this is forget 96 proof, I think. Yeah, 96 proof tequila. So higher than your normal 80.
Yeah.
And just an agave bomb in your mouth. It's so good.
An agave bomb.
Yeah, that's good tequila. That is good stuff.
All right.
What do you got there?
Yeah. Okay, so a friend of mine introduced me to True Evil American Blonde Ale. It is a tribute to Evel Knievel.
Man, do you remember Evel Knievel?
I do. I was a huge Evel Knievel fan when I was a kid. And, kids nowadays have absolutely no idea who Evel Knievel is. But he was a legend.
He was a legend. It's so cool. And, we think about the jumps that he did. And my kid did those like 36 times per race. Like,
oh my gosh.
When you think of what he was jumping and what they do in motocross and supercross today, there's 75-foot jumps 3 times on every supercross track. And I think one of the bus jumps was like 65 feet.
Well, okay.
But he was doing it on a Harley.
Exactly. It wasn't quite the same.
No.
But absolute legend back in the day. I mean, he was kind of must-see TV because it'd be some special episode where he was, a 1-hour episode of him to attempt a big jump.
Living or dying.
Yeah, for real.
Literally. I remember this show, That's Incredible.
Uh-huh.
And there was another show called Real People.
Yep.
I was a kid. Like half the people that get on YouTube weren't alive when those shows were on.
That's for sure.
But he was a whole 2-hour That's Incredible special.
Yep.
And jumping the fountains at Caesars was one of his last jumps.
Right.
And that was amazing. And you can get on YouTube and Google it, YouTube it, whatever you tell people to search.
Yeah, YouTube's good.
YouTube it?
Well, because you want to see the videos, so YouTube's a place.
Okay, so YouTube it. Travis Pastrana doing the fountain jump on an Indian street bike. So He recreated the actual Evel Knievel jump.
I think I've seen that.
Pretty amazing. And on a great, the only street bike I want to buy is the bike that he did that on. But I wouldn't ride it, and I'd probably die on it.
So well, there you go. If you think back to when we were younger, reality TV did not exist.
Right.
Sports would have been considered our reality TV. I mean, today it still is. But Evel Knievel, by comparison, probably would have been reality TV back in the 80s, I guess.
Although not scripted reality TV is today. My son was on MTV.
Yeah,
he was on the show Made, and we thought that was real. It wasn't. It was a lot of, we want you to cry because you're not able to go to prom, and we know prom was yesterday, and you had a great time. Okay, wasn't real, but you can YouTube that too. Made a cheerleader into a motocross racer, and my son Blake was the coach, and Malcolm McCaskey was the main coach on the show. So it's pretty neat. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to watch.
Okay.
Speaking of fun things.
Yes, sir.
You just got back from Sin City.
I did get back from Vegas, yes.
So you're probably out there watching the strippers and paying big bucks on the gambling.
No strippers involved.
Okay.
But there was some gambling involved because we do like to play some games.
Yep.
But I arranged our trip to Vegas, which was a Wednesday through a Sunday, I arranged it months and months ago. Like,
was there no strippers during this time?
No, here's my point. It was a coincidence only based on when I booked it that my daughter is now living out there. And so it was not only a chance for me to go to a conference that I went to for 2 days, but also to spend 2 days with Alex and her boyfriend. And then this was a coincidence. My sister and her husband happened to be out there at the same time celebrating their 20th anniversary. Hi, Michelle and Bill.
Happy anniversary.
And then Alex's boyfriend, his parents came out, not a coincidence, but still they came out to visit as well. And then at the end of the week, my sister left, Matt's parents left, but then my friends from the neighborhood came into town. So it was a whole weekend of fun people and fun stuff to do.
So no strippers and hoes, just family and conferences.
Correct.
And I don't know a cool way to say family and conferences.
That's okay. Yeah, it was the first time we had seen Alex since she moved out there. So we'll say beginning of June. So it had been a good several months. And so she was certainly happy to see us, spend some time with us. We got to take her out to nice dinner.
And you had some nice restaurants.
Yeah.
Some skull of chocolate. Oh, this is proof that I watch all of your videos.
Thank you.
A skull turned into like a chocolate mush.
So this was something I had seen on TikTok, and it's at a restaurant called Chico, which was in the Venetian, and it's a shareable dessert. It was $38, which when you consider a dessert, that's kind of pricey, right? I would consider it pricey.
I consider that pricey.
So they melt they form chocolate into a skull.
Like a sugar skull, kind of like.
Yeah, it's a skull mold.
Okay.
And then when it comes out, they put the skull over the top of chocolate lava cake. They paint the skull in edible gold paint, whatever.
So have you been picking through your poo?
And then next to the skull on the plate is some horchata ice cream and some fruit. Then they bring it out to the table. They light this liquid on fire in a cup. Then they take that cup and pour it over the top of the skull. The skull melts and you have your chocolate dessert.
My guess, that liquid was rum.
Probably.
It wasn't lighter fluid.
No, probably not. And he may have even said it, but it was kind of loud where we were, so I don't know what it was. But I was just fascinated, and it was super cool. And that was my entire purpose for going to that restaurant. I didn't
just to get
anything else.
That's all.
And it was worth it because it was good stuff.
How many people were there?
There were 8 of us at the table.
So $36 split by 8.
Yeah,
that's a normal dessert. I mean, dessert's usually $14 at a sit-down restaurant.
Absolutely. Yep. So that was cool, and we had.
Was it good?
It was, yeah. And I don't really care for chocolate cake, but
I can't have it.
Yeah, I had 2 or 3 pieces because others did have dessert.
Whatness?
No, others did have food. They had dinner where I did not. So
and now you're counting your steps.
There you know. That's right. And then the last day that we were there, we went to a place that I've walked by many times, and we finally decided we're going to go. It's called Beer Park.
Not Crazy Horse.
No. Beer Park is located at Paris Hotel, which is where we were staying, and it's significantly larger than I thought it was. I only thought it was like a patio.
Was that the white building that you were inside of that had white and blue lights, and you were like this lobby?
No, that was Fontainebleau.
Okay, well,
that's a relatively new hotel.
More proof that I watch your video.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So, yeah, Beer Park, I thought was just a patio with a bar, but no, I mean it's got a whole restaurant to it and games inside, and you can walk then back into the hotel. It's a really cool place. So we sat there, had breakfast with our friends, and watched the IU Nebraska football game, and it was super cool. I would totally go back there.
Awesome. I was told that, IU was 7-0, which I thought that meant 0-7.
No, sir.
I'm very dyslexic. So I just thought, well, yeah, they suck like normal. And then I found out that they've won every game.
Yeah, they are ranked, at the time of this recording, 13th in the nation.
No, IU is ranked in football.
Correct. Higher than Alabama.
Like usually they're just ranked.
Yeah.
Right?
They are one of the top 2 teams in the Big Ten right now. And looking realistically like they could get into the 12-team college playoff.
I mean, right now they're in the Big Ten, right? Which is like 40 schools.
18, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And schools all over the world.
Or just nation, but
like
it's spread out.
Oregon's like a different world.
Well,
we know people from there.
They're number 1 in the nation right now.
Really?
Yeah. And obviously in the Big Ten, really good team. They're the other undefeated team.
So what we used to say in college sports was always a jab and a joke. But now we can actually say, because it's true, so IU must be paying.
This year they brought in a new coach, and he had great success at James Madison last year. He's actually never had a losing record, which is impressive as a coach. It's not like it was his second year.
Right. So before that, he was paying under the table. Now they could pay out straight.
Maybe. And so when he came from James Madison, yes, there was some transfer portal that they hit. And the kid that they brought in to be their quarterback did not come from James Madison. He came from
some school that didn't pay as much.
Yeah, he was in the MAC or one of those divisions. And 2 years ago, he was their player of the year in the conference. He was injured last year, so wasn't obviously as successful. But, I mean, that's completely turned around their program right now.
I was told they probably could beat the Colts.
No, I doubt it. I mean, the Colts are average, but,
Aren't they always?
They have been for quite a while, unfortunately.
The best thing in professional football to me right now is the Monday Night Manning cast.
It is fun.
It is. And Belichick is such a stooge. But on that show, they kind of bring him out of his shell a little bit.
And it really, and good for him, shows off his personality.
Yeah, because you wouldn't think he had one.
No, when he was coach of the Patriots, he was somber, always seemed like he was in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Answered questions short, without giving away information, and successful, yes, but not a personality kind of guy.
But to give him a little credit, and the same credit I'm going to give to the greatest interviewee from sports media.
Okay.
Bobby Knight.
Okay.
They're not being interviewed by rocket scientists.
Well, true.
And those questions, how do you feel after losing?
Oh,
I remember when they asked Bobby Knight that one time, and he just went off. I think half of what he said was bleeped out of television.
Probably.
And then that person, I think, just crawled out in tears. And I was like, good for him. What a dumb question. How do you feel after losing?
It's got to be hard to be a sports writer because you're trying to come up with a story that would be unique so that people would read it.
Where there isn't one.
Exactly. And it's got to be the same every day. Someone's asking the same question all the time, and it's just, okay, didn't get quite the soundbite I need. I'm going to ask the same question with different words,
right,
in a slightly different way, but it's still the same question. And as the athletes and the coaches
swore at,
athletes and coaches just have to get tired of that, and it would be annoying, I'm sure.
It's like watching Frank Caliendo do Madden.
Yeah,
where he says, I really think either one of these teams has a chance of winning. Those little comments. If he can get the ball and he can throw it into the end zone, they're going to score.
That's right.
Well, of course they are.
That's the scores the most points has got to win.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, okay.
I would love those comments. That's And Frank Caliendo, I think, does it better than Madden.
Oh, actually, he's so good.
He's amazing.
So good. So, man,
this one, as you can see, this is going to be a big real estate, a big mortgage and real estate.
That's right.
Podcast today. You're going to learn a lot.
So aside from the chocolate cake, I did go to a conference out there that was real estate / social media. And it's from a group that I belong to. It's called BAM, which stands for Broke Agent Media.
So real estate and how to operate your OnlyFans?
Correct. Oh, that was big. Yes. I learned a lot about selling feet pics. So
feet pics.
That's right.
Why is that the biggest thing of OnlyFans? I've never been on OnlyFans, but everybody makes jokes about feet pics.
Because there are people who make lots of money taking pictures of their feet.
I was told
it's real.
There's a 7-figure income earner that sells her farts in a jar.
Oh, ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Just be some well water.
That's right. I didn't know that was authentic. Anyway.
No additives.
So the conference I went to was very cool. There were a number of people there who I follow on social media. So for a certain amount of it, I was kind of fangirling.
Really?
Oh, for sure. I was like,
Did you cry? And
no, there was
shake your hand.
No, none of that. But it was, shaking hands and, complimentary. Like, oh, I follow your stuff. I love your stuff. It's great. And can we do a selfie?
It's kind of like me watching all of your videos.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then I show up here. It's like,
I can't believe he's here. I traded 4 friendship bracelets before he got here.
I can't believe I'm friends with this guy.
It's amazing. He's got that hat. Did you wear the hat?
Okay, wait. No, I didn't even take it with me. However,
Because he couldn't get it in his carry.
The second day of the conference, a gentleman was there walking around with a big hat like this. And I was like, oh, I got to say something to him. So I walked up. I had my phone ready with an image of me with my hat on. And I said, I have to imagine the question you get asked most often is, oh, that's a great hat. Where'd you get that? And he was from Canada and spoke with a French accent. So part of what he said I didn't quite catch. But either way, a cool moment for me. That guy was from Canada. The gentleman standing next to him was from Vegas. And as I was talking to this Canadian guy, the Vegas guy goes, is this you? And he turns and shows me my stuff from Instagram. He goes, I seen your stuff on Instagram. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, that is so cool that, thousands of miles away, this dude has seen my stuff.
Again, when you came in, cried a little, shook my hands, and traded for friendship bracelets. Like,
there you go.
You are my T Swiftie.
Thank you.
Who will be in town by the time this comes out, I think?
No, it should be after this.
It's the other way.
This is the week of it. But man, I followed the Indy Star on my phone, and like every day are new articles about, are tickets still available? My answer, I don't even need to read the article. No.
They're expecting 200,000 people to come to town for a couple of nights of 75.
It's incredible. And I saw one headline that said hotels are completely booked out 9 counties away.
Yep.
And
they've shifted the highway construction calendar.
Correct. There's a map that you can go follow downtown to find, I believe there are 32 or 36 streets that were renamed after Taylor Swift songs.
Yes.
So a little adventure for people to go on. She is on the side of the JW Marriott.
Yep.
It's huge. And it was supposed to be her final show of the entire tour, but it's actually not. Now she's doing a final one in Canada. I'm not sure when, a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever it is. But
those Canadians are so nice.
That's right. But it's Taylor Swift mania here. That is for sure. I was thinking maybe I just reinstitute my Uber driver license and go make some money that weekend.
I'm just going to watch Travis Kelce play football.
There you go.
That's how I honor Taylor Swift, by watching the Chiefs play football.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Well, I like the Chiefs. I really like Mahomes better than...
I made in my opinion, what I hope turns out to be a fantasy football coup yesterday. So noticed in, kind of mid-morning, a headline that said, Chiefs are finalizing a trade for DeAndre Hopkins. I was like, DeAndre Hopkins is still an awesome wide receiver. And so I remembered recently he was on the waiver wire, and I never wanted to pick him up because he was on the Titans, who are crappy. And so I saw that and I was like, ooh, is he still available? Sure enough, he was. So I was able to pick up DeAndre. Very excited.
8 or 9 words. I don't even know what they mean.
That's okay.
I don't know what the waiver wire is. I do know what the Titans are. Never heard of that gentleman, but I'm sure he's amazing.
He will be a Hall of Fame wide receiver someday.
And the only fantasies I have do not have football in it.
All right. Well, he's on the Chiefs.
Good. Well, I'll probably learn about him. I'll watch.
Probably.
I do like the Chiefs. I mean, I like the Colts too.
Of course.
But the Chiefs win.
That's true.
All the time. It's pretty amazing.
So prior to me leaving for Vegas, you were in Cabo San Lucas. So you and I have not seen each other in quite a while.
No, you look the same, though.
Thank you. You look a little thinner.
I am.
Because you're still running.
Still running.
Even in Cabo, good for you. How was the Cabo trip?
Fantastic. We went with a couple of friends that it was their second time going to Cabo, but first time during the Sammy Hagar birthday party week. And then it was honestly also very weird because it's the first time that all of our Michigan people, all of our Oregon people, most of our Seattle people, and our Nashville friends didn't even come this year.
Oh.
So there were 25 people missing.
Wow.
So it was really interesting. Things changed after COVID, and definitely the Cabo Wabo changed after COVID, and people's priorities shifted a bit. And, some friends sold businesses, and some friends got married, and it's just kind of changed it up. So it was really weird. Like,
I bet
the staple people that we've stayed with for 10 or 12 years just weren't there.
Right.
So we still had a great time.
And you did your show.
We did. Yeah. We did some tequila hunting, found some great tequila, videoed.
You had several videos.
Made videos there almost every day.
Uh-huh.
And that was a lot of fun. We did our run up to the top of the mountain, which was Really
Torture.
fun. Ran a couple of 5+ mile runs in 90-degree heat. That's really fun.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But you did your fundraiser show.
We did, yeah. So we played at Sancho's, Wild Bill and I. And last year we raised 29,000 pesos. And I forget how much actual cash that is. But this year we really wanted to beat that. Like that was our goal. And our goal was not to play for 5 hours like we did last time, because it just hurts.
I bet.
And to remember that many songs, and we don't take a break. We just started drinking and playing. So we did play a little bit over 4 hours and raised 49,000 pesos, which all goes to a children's charity to help. It's an orphanage and also helps feed some underprivileged children in the Cabo San Lucas area.
Good for you.
That's fantastic. So it's pretty neat to gives back.
Is Wild Bill a local down there?
No, Wild Bill's from Chicago.
Okay.
He's just another one of the guys that comes down during the Sammy Hagar time frame, and lots of what's called redheads, like Parrot Heads were big Jimmy Buffett fans, and Sammy Hagar was the red rocker, right?
Okay.
So redheads is what they call.
I've never heard that term.
Yeah, you wouldn't unless you had to.
Now, watching your social media while you were down there, you were at Sammy's birthday party.
We did, yeah. So we didn't get.
You don't always go, right?
No, we don't. Okay. And we used to. We used to go to. He used to do 4 shows in Cabo, and we would try to go to all 4 shows. And it's a lottery to get tickets, so it's very difficult to get tickets. And we were always, quite honestly, been blessed with some great friends that work at the Cabo Wabo, and have always made sure we got to go to every show, which was always nice. We're not sleeping on the sidewalk like a lot of people do. And this year he was only doing 2 shows. So just the 11th and the 13th. And we were down there on the 9th, which is usually a Sammy show. He usually played the 6th, the 9th, the 11th, and the 13th. And then COVID came along and canceled them all. And he played a deal on Cantalita Island or something like that in California.
Catalina
Island. Yep. So he did a show on that, where people sat in boats and they stayed away from each other, because COVID thing.
Because they had to.
And then this year he did 2 shows in Vegas and then 2 shows in Cabo. And so that way more people could come, because I can easier go to Vegas, right?
Yeah.
But we were down there on the 9th and we were kind of hanging out. And there was a lot of people that we knew there, and we were just kind of having fun. And it was getting really late. It was, 9, and that's late when you're this old.
I understand. You get up early.
9 o'clock's like, holy cow. So we were getting ready to leave, and Chino, which is one of the main security people that we know, we told him, hey, man, we're getting ready to head out of here. He's like, you probably should stick around a little while. And we're like, okay. And then Jill, hi, Jill. Jill's like the insider of all things Sammy Hagar, and she also works for a liquor company.
Nice.
And does a lot with Sammy. And I was walking back to the bar to get another glass of tequila, and Jill looked at me and she goes, hey, he's in the building, because she thought I was leaving. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. So I walked back to our friends and said, hey guys, we can leave or wait for Sammy Hagar to come out and play some songs. And they're like, are you serious? And we're like, yeah, he's in the building. So 15 minutes later, he pops out on stage, did maybe 8 to 10 songs with the house band, and Jerry Cantrell, which is Alice in Chains singer and guitar player.
Sure.
The man in the box.
I didn't know that.
Do you know that song? There's a man in the box.
Yes, got it.
I hate that song.
But I do know that one.
Yeah, so he always does that song. I don't really hate the song. I've heard it too many times. So, but at any rate, Jerry Cantrell came out, did a couple songs, and then he jumped inside and was gone. We were back to our rooms by 11 o'clock.
Okay.
So great night, great time. I was really stoked for our friends that have never seen that before.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
To get to see Sammy. But one thing was missing, really missing this year in Cabo San Lucas. And I don't know you're going to be able to see this shirt. Maybe when you're editing, you can zoom in on it. But you'll see it's the stage of the Cabo Wabo.
Correct, yeah.
Okay? And you can see the Cabo Wabo's drums.
Yes, I can.
And then in the middle of that stage, there's just one red solo cup. And that red solo cup was to honor Toby Keith, because Toby couldn't be at this birthday party. And this is the first birthday bash Toby hasn't been to in a really long time. I forget what the back says. Something
says, I love this bar In memoriam, TK.
And Toby Keith was definitely a larger than life
For sure.
Personality, and he would pop into the Cabo Wabo. He has a place in Cabo. Him and Sammy were true friends. If you can find, there's a story on Instagram of Sammy talking about his friendship with Toby. And he talks about how he's got lots of acquaintances, but just a handful of true friends. And Toby Keith was one of his really true friends. So it was really cool for them to put together a shirt that really honored a great guy who was always awesome. His singing at the cantina, and he'd always come out with a full bottle of Cabo and chug it out of the bottle. Sammy took forever to switch him over to the new Santo Fina to get him to drink the right juice. But, we missed him, but we had a great time in Cabo. The weather was beautiful. The food is phenomenal. Here we call it Mexican food. There they just call it food.
Right.
So we had a great time. And like always, we love going to Mexico.
Awesome.
And we're going back to Mexico.
Oh, baby.
We're going back in February. We're going back to the town of Tequila for a day and then to Arandes for a few days.
I hope you enjoyed the shots that you just took, because Brad just mentioned Tequila, Mexico.
And
if you're new to the show, number one, hit that subscribe button, drop a like,
share.
And if you're new to the show, that's a drinking game. When Brad mentions Tequila, Mexico, that's a shot. When I mention my days as a former teacher, that's a shot.
And here's another thing I want to say. If this is your first time watching and you're thinking about buying a house or selling a house or doing a mortgage, give us a shot.
There you go. And that is as easy as dropping a comment, and we'll get back to you for sure.
Absolutely.
So in honor of maybe Toby Keith and Sammy's birthday, I think it's time for our shots.
So should we do a shot of Santo then?
Yeah, we should.
Musquila, Repo, Blanco.
Do you think I'm going to know the difference?
Oh,
the answer to that is no.
So I'm going to give you the...
Oh, you said shots, bro.
Just drink it. I'm going to drink it out of the Fortune Spool glass, which will soon be tequila.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll give you the Respecto glass. So respect what's in your glass.
Thanks. Am I doing this as a shot?
Yeah, you could do it as a shot.
Okay, thanks. Be gentle. Oh, yeah.
I bet that is a shot. You pour that in that shot glass.
We'll see. Oh. Look at you.
Look at that exact 104.
That is impressive.
That is impressive right there.
All right.
Boy, I can't give me no shit for sure right there. That was a perfect 1 out.
It really was. Like you're a professional or something.
Not a bartender either, just a professional drinker. So in honor of Toby Keith and Sammy Hagar's 77th birthday.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
Wow, that smells like green grass and pepper.
It is peppery. That's for sure.
It's good tequila right there.
Good stuff. And speaking of 77, my mom, it will hit 77 at the end of this coming week.
Okay, so this is going to be a testament to tequila and the health that it gives you.
Okay.
Does your mom drink a lot of tequila?
No.
Could your mom put on, sing, run around the stage, and dance for 2 hours on stage?
No.
Sammy Hagar can.
Impressive. No, my mom's actually having knee surgery right after her birthday. So
I seen a picture recently of Bill Clinton next to Sammy Hagar, and it said, I think tequila is healthier than being a vegan.
That's incredible.
But he hasn't had to live with Hillary.
Well, there is that.
There is that. I mean, I think
that says a lot.
It does say a lot.
Oh, so that torture.
So let's not. That's
So prior to the show, we were having a little bit of real estate discussion.
Yes.
And let's drop a little bit of that real estate knowledge. So this is late mid-October. Recording of the days. I just made that
October 20th.
October 24th.
Okay.
So, we're about a week from October being over, and we're under 2 weeks until the election. and where are we at right now, what you're seeing real estate wise, because it's very similar to what I'm seeing.
Wow, yeah, it is. It's quiet. There's a lot of people. Well, rates have ticked back up. The 10-year Treasury's back above 4.2. There hasn't been the greatest news, for the bond market, really ever since the Fed did what they did, which now in hindsight does look like maybe a little economic manipulation when you think through how big of a jump they made of, moving it a full half. And they've kind of done what they didn't want to do. They've kind of reignited some inflation. You've seen unemployment, kind of change, although jobless claims say were worse than what was expected.
Okay.
So
That's
maybe
a good thing.
People are losing their job, but here's a big thing. Mr. Cooper, it's a mortgage company.
Mm-hmm.
They just purchased the entire mortgage department from the company Flagstar Bank.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a huge move. So
at one point I had a Flagstar Bank loan.
Well, they service a lot of our loans. Flagstar's always been a big servicing partner for us. And a couple years ago, they closed their entire retail division. So they ditched doing retail mortgages. They only backed off to having what's called a TPO. That's a correspondent channel, which is like us underwriting the loan and then them servicing the loan. A mini correspondent channel where they underwrote, but you are still a lender on it. Or a broker, which is a full wholesale where you're just a middleman selling the loan directly to them. So that was their only mortgage move. And 2 months ago, they announced that division of their company was being purchased by Mr. Cooper, along with all of their servicing portfolio. So a lot of people now are getting letters in the mail saying, starting in...
Hello, I'm Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, December or November, you'll start making your payment to Mr. Cooper. But they're going to shed somewhere between... The number is said between 9 and 1,800 jobs.
Wow. That's not good.
Because there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah, of course.
But that's happening in a lot of industries. There's a lot of companies that are having, really big changes. If you look at in the EV market of what's going on with Ford and GM, and they've slowed these battery manufacturing facilities. They've cut way back on hours worked. That's one of the things you've seen most isn't as much layoffs as it is hours worked. The average hours worked has dropped. I think the last report was like below 35 hours.
You still have a job. However,
you're not getting any overtime. So, there's a lot of changes happening out there, and those are all negative things, but they're very positive for interest rates.
It's just, it sucks. Like we're almost rooting for stuff to go bad so that what we have going on can be better.
Yeah.
It's odd. I don't like that.
There is a hard line of, so when the economy gets slow enough that interest rates are low, that means we're in a recession.
Yeah.
But it also hurts the availability for people to purchase. And we are in, still a population boom of 30-plus-year-olds, which is driving still a housing shortage.
Right.
Now, if you live in certain areas of Florida, you can't give your house away.
Yeah.
But if you're living in markets like ours, where we still have an attractive market for people to move to, I had 4 people write offers last weekend. All 4 of them lost. And they were, full price offers and barely asking for closing costs.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of competition for housing.
One of the fangirl ladies that I met at BAM Mania, her name's Marie. She's the reason that I am moved me to Indy as my email address.
Mm-hmm.
She has moved me to Tennessee, and she has a great Instagram channel. But she was talking at the conference and on social media since she got back about how slow the Nashville market is and what a great opportunity it is for buyers to be able to start negotiating. And there's just such a slowdown in Nashville. And here we are. No, we got 4 that lost in a multiple offer situation.
But you're also looking at Nashville.
Oh, for sure.
It's a high-cost market.
Yeah,
it used to be.
Right.
So what that means when I say high-cost market, we know San Francisco's high.
Of course.
We know San Diego's high.
Yes, it is.
We know Boston and New York is high.
Of course.
And so is Nashville. It's in the same price ranges.
Yeah.
So, Hamilton County median home price, I believe, is $405,000.
That sounds about right.
I think the median home price in Franklin County is probably near $800,000.
Man.
That's an average. So, yeah.
Well, that's middle, but
Yeah, this average is the middle, isn't it?
No.
Like if I'm average in the class, I'm not the loser and I'm not the winner. I'm sitting in the middle.
That's a discussion for another time. They don't mean the same thing.
Huh.
A lot of people do get them confused.
I am the dumber one.
No.
No, it is. That is true.
It's a typical,
If there was a test being taken, if there was a test to be taken, I would end up the dumber one. Because I don't know when the I goes in front of the E.
Oh, Lordy. Okay.
And I say words wrong.
So one of the things that I heard at a one-day conference I was at yesterday.
You do a lot of conferences.
Yeah, this was...
Maybe that's why you're so smarter than me.
Well, maybe. So the funny part about this was I felt like I was crashing a RE/MAX conference because it was put on by RE/MAX, and they may have been doing like a 2-day conference here in Indianapolis themselves.
People still work for RE/MAX?
Yeah, I know. And to listen to them talk about their business, I was like, you're RE/MAX.
Hey, if you can't see it, you can't be it.
Hey, good for them. And they're recognized. I don't want to, put all the RE/MAX people down, but
there's a RE/MAX office and a RE/MAX realtor that I know of that I think is sitting at 6th for sales in the city.
There you go. And they do a great job. Been around for a long time. Not my point. So there's a gentleman I follow on Instagram. His name is Jared James. He is down in Florida.
Hey, Jared.
And he said approaching 40. So he's somewhere in his late 30s. When he was 26 years old, he was the number one RE/MAX agent in the company, which is pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
Yes. And so he has a lot of knowledge, and he talked about, how he is literally friends with most of the top CEOs at each of the 6 biggest real estate companies. He's in with people at NAR. So he is very knowledgeable about what's going on the inside. Something that he said that really stood out to me was, you consider how when we talk about real estate statistics, it's all about comparison to previous years, right? And in 2005, so nearly 20 years ago, there were 7 million homes that were sold.
Yeah.
Last year, 3.8 million.
Yep.
So...
Oh, let's go back to another question for you.
Yeah.
So 7 million's home sold. Did he say how many homes were listed for sale?
He didn't.
2005?
No.
Because I bet that number is 5 or 6 times what they are today for homes available, yet we're a little less than half of the sales.
There you go.
Like that is where that stupid competition is still playing.
Yeah. So he says, think about how population works. In the last 20 years, it's not like our population has gone down. So population has gone up, whereas the sale of homes over the last 20 years has gone down significantly in the last couple of years.
Right.
He said, realtors, you're sitting on a volcano of people who want to buy a house, people who are going to want to buy a house. And so, as far as real estate goes, it's amazing to think that we ever have downtimes because there are just so many people in the country that need a house, want a house, can't find a house. It's incredible. And, builders, God love them because they can't keep up with the inventory that we need.
Right.
And, all those who supply builders, heck, those are jobs to get into because they ain't going anywhere for a while.
It goes back to what we talk about, the growth of the millennial class.
Yes.
And relating today to 2005 is very similar because we still were at the end of the boomers.
Right.
And we weren't into us Gen Xers yet, which was the smallest generation in many, many years. And now you have the millennials that are, I've heard 2 things. I've heard that it's bigger than the baby boomers, and I've heard that it is equal to the baby boomers. So I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure which is accurate.
But I know it's way more than, baby boomers, they didn't want to have kids. And the Gen Xers, we got after it.
And, now you have Gen Xers like us who are in our early 50s. So I'm
in the mid.
We are at the age where we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So a lot of us have, like myself and you, no more kids in the house.
No.
So many of us looking to potentially downsize.
Ours are only able to visit on holidays.
There you go. So we're looking at, downsizing, and our parents,
not downsizing,
our parents who are probably healthier than most previous generations are still alive. And either living out their final days in the home that they're in, potentially looking to, move into something else, but many of them are staying put. I continue to feel awful for first-time home buyers.
Oh, yeah.
And even, selling your first house, looking for a second house, home buyers, because affordability is just not good for anyone. And availability is also
at least that second time's got some downstroke.
At least they do. Yeah.
They got some downstroke. They got some cash. They got a huge amount of equity.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And so the baby boomers were part of the housing problem when they were growing.
Mm-hmm.
And, today they're still a big part of the housing problem.
Because they're holding on to their houses.
We can age so much longer in the house.
Right.
And, in-home healthcare has helped people stay in their homes longer. They are healthier, right? They spend all those years drinking Coke that didn't have whatever our Coke has in it.
That had sugar in it instead of Coke that has aspartame.
Yeah, if you spend a little bit of time looking at our food, which has been a part of this journey of losing weight and training for a marathon, has been learning about the garbage.
Well, and you're learning about tequila. You're all additive tequila guy because you found out about the additives that are in those other tequila.
Glycerin and caramel coloring and some sweetener that's 8,000 times sweeter than sugar that they drip eyeglasses, eye drops in it to make it sweet. Like, I got a horrible cold flying home from Cabo. Unfortunately, our friends got very ill. They got COVID. We probably had COVID, but we're not run out in testers. We're just like, it was a cold, like all other colds. I don't need to name it, but it was probably COVID. So I got to where I couldn't breathe, right? It's all just huge congestion. And people say, you lose your taste and your smell with COVID. Well, you and I can attest to the fact that when you have allergies like we have, you don't always smell the greatest.
Nope.
And you can't smell anything either.
No, correct.
Because you don't know you stink. You can't smell it. And then we don't taste everything that people taste.
Right.
We're like, oh, this green bean's delicious. We're like, it just tastes like a green bean.
That tastes like tequila.
So I wanted tequila, but I was like, I really don't want to drink the expensive stuff because I have some expensive stuff.
Yeah, you do.
I didn't want to drink it. I wanted to drink the cheapest of the cheap. So I grabbed the additive stuff that I wouldn't normally drink. And the only thing I tasted at the end was that taste when you pick up your first diet pop.
Uh-huh.
And you have this
just taste in the back of your throat,
that
like
artificial sweetener. Bleh.
Yeah.
Dude, I had that with every one of the tequilas that I tell people don't drink it, right? Because it's full of additives. And that like, go get a cold and then taste cheap tequila. Or, in some cases, very expensive tequila because it's in a beautiful blue and white bottle that has a bell on the top.
Right.
That's,
I saw that.
I
saw that episode.
Class Azul. It tastes like sweetener, like artificial sweetener. And I could really, I can taste it normally in it. But, oh, gosh, it is crazy.
And I will drop a plug here. If this is your first time here or you have yet to do this, go check out Tasting Tequila with Brad. It's on YouTube. It's on Instagram. It's on TikTok. It's on Facebook. Everywhere, social media-wise, go check it out because the episodes are informative, especially if you think you're a tequila person, maybe you are a tequila person, maybe you want to be a tequila person. Brad is throwing out bombs of information and trying different kinds of tequilas and basically teaching you how to taste tequila correctly. And then there's the episodes where he's sick and just talking about ringing the bell and might as well drink this.
Yeah.
And the episodes aren't long. So
I try to keep them short.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about the episode. So go check that out.
I appreciate that, Brian. I am starting a little segment where I'm interviewing people.
Yes.
Just interviewed a brand.
You interviewed me one time.
Yeah, but this is a little
not
different.
the same.
Yeah, this is like a 25-minute long. I interviewed a brand, Baja Riba. They got really cool bottles that look like Baja, California.
Super cool.
Great tequila. And I interviewed the brand owner and talked about how they got started. He's an author, a PhD. Like I called him the international man of mystery. Like Rico Austin. He has so many things in his life that's pretty incredible, and he has a great tequila. So I just did another one with a guy named Brad, Agave Love Lore on Facebook, and Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok as well. And he's a content creator. And we talked about, a full-length video of, how he got into doing content creation and really why he's doing it. Like, it's funny, nobody's doing it for money. Like, Fred, dude, did you quit like the mortgage business and are you doing that for income? Like, no, I'm just doing it for fun, and the free tequila that comes with it is pretty cool. But
Absolutely.
The community of people is pretty amazing. And to give a quick plug for our party coming up November 9th, if you're a Facebook friend and you're in the know, you know about our casino party. Today I posted the foundation that will be raising money for. And it's literally for a town outside of Tequila, Mexico, where the people there don't have running water. Think about that.
I can't even fathom what that life is like.
But count how many places in your house that you can go get running water. We're so blessed.
I was thinking about this today as I was washing a dish in my sink. And while I'm scrubbing it, the water is just coming out of the faucet and just going to nowhere other than down the drain. And I thought, how many people in our world would be so pissed off at the amount of water that I'm just letting run right on by and not doing anything with?
Think how much water you waste while brushing your teeth.
Yes.
I mean, so we are so blessed in the United States.
Absolutely.
And this family, this town, there's, I think, 175 people. I forget the amount of families, probably 60 to 80 families, that when the water gets delivered to their town twice a week.
Yeah.
And no matter what time it is, they got to get up.
Yeah.
And they got to use that water.
No matter what time.
Right? Because water's life.
Yeah.
I mean, without water,
that's it.
But think about it, doing your laundry, having some drinking water, being able to take a bath, a shower,
cooking,
flushing your toilet. So, Christina that owns Villar Tequila, she made a great video today. Did you get to see that?
I did see it.
And all of the money we're going to raise at the casino night is going to be delivered to that charity. And there's no middlemen getting paid.
Right.
The money's going, 100% of the money's going to put cisterns at every family. And also their gray water runs right into the streets. So the kids can't play in the streets. They're going to put in a system to remove the gray water and then also put in a system where they'll actually have running water to this town.
That's awesome.
And, I do drink a lot of tequila. I take a lot from the region, so this is our part of trying to give back. And I'm pretty excited about it.
I think that's awesome.
Such a great charity.
It really is. Good for you.
I mean, everybody that comes and gambles.
It's good for us.
I mean, we're putting it on, but and there's an expense in doing it, of course, but it's a lot of fun and knowing that it's going to go for something great like that. Last year, we helped out a friend whose wife had to have a heart transplant and he couldn't work. And we helped bring a lot of money to that family to help them. And hopefully we get to really reach people to bring running water to their houses. That's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And if it's something that you want to donate to, I'll have Brian actually put maybe
I'll put a link in the notes
in our comments section so somebody could donate directly to it. I'd say the name, but I'll say it wrong.
No, it's fine. I'll have it down in the show notes. So if you want to donate, that would be great. Help is appreciated.
Yeah.
And all right, man. Well, on that note, let's wrap it up.
Well, let's wrap it up by saying one thing. If this is your first time watching the entire show, if you have, you've dedicated some time.
For sure.
You probably got a couple laughs.
I hope so.
Maybe went and poured a glass of beer or tequila, or just for shits and giggles ran and jumped over your end table so you could feel like Evel Knievel. But here's the thing that I want you to think about the most. If you're thinking about listing your home for sale, or you're thinking about buying your first home and you don't even know when you're going to do it, you're just kind of in that planning stage, call Brian. Find out what it's going to take to list that home for sale. How much money could I get from it?
And if you need a lender to help you get that next home, potentially to help you refinance the home that you currently have, you want to work with a lender who's going to explain things to you, who's going to not pressure sale you into doing something maybe you're not ready to do. But lots of people have questions when it comes to lending. Hit up Brad.
Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Next time.
See you.